Guys, take a good look at XLM. And if you've done that, you also know as well as I do that things are looking very positive for Stellar. Now, why and what I'll be talking about here in just a second, but make sure you press the like button, subscribe, and comment something down below, as that is all you need to do to enter into our 100 XRP giveaway. And if you wonder how it works, well, just check the last 5 videos because we kept announcing winner after winner, and all we need to hit is 1,200 likes. Having that said, look at this, guys. I've been looking at this for a very long time here, and the main reason is I was first analyzing XRP again, and a fun thing about this one is it follows, the course quite well. It follows kind of everything that we expected with a kind of a normal lineup, so to say, or just a kind of an easy trend that's moving upwards, so to speak, with just higher lows. However, it did touch our zone again, which we expected. We thought it would maybe hit a little bit inside of there. It did not. It just rejected exactly at the point of the zone. However, it bounced back down and now is most likely going to retest the zone. At least that's what we are expecting. And the thing is, though, with XRP, we're actually down a little bit from the highest point. It looks like we are, quite significantly down here. It's a difference, right? Because this is another zone or even another zone and a half upwards. It's just a good difference. With XLM, there's actually no difference whatsoever anymore. I mean, it's literally in the same type of area, and this, by the way, is not perfect. This is just to give you guys an indication of where we are. Look. Right, we are literally in the same ballpark here for XLM, which we were not with XRP. And the thing with this one then is, I think the only resistance still lies which we found here a couple of days ago, or actually it's just literally 2-3 days ago here, the 25th, when I made this newer higher point, which you can see right there. But on the 4-hour here as well, you can just clearly see, in my opinion, that there's not really much of a discrepancy anymore. It's just made its top or made its bottom here at about 14.5 or so cents, and right now we are right back up there at about 21 or so. It dipped like crazy for a little bit, but it shot back upwards, and already in the last couple of days, at least if you took the bottom, it's already up again about 50% or so in 2 days. You don't really see that if you press live coin watcher. You don't really notice that it's up this much because it just looks like 10% or so. But yes, it is up a crazy amount. And by the way, let's take a look at ADA as well. A couple of you guys keep saying, man, take a look at ADA. Don't ignore that thing. So let me quickly go ahead and open that one up here if we can. Let's quickly take a little bit of a look. Right. Where's ADA? Here we go. All right, so this is the daily chart for ADA. Why is this such a short one? Let me quickly try find another ADA. This one is not that nice. Go for Binance. There we go. So ADA on the daily chart, it also seems that it recovered from its dip. Let's see how high it is up again. About 45% or so again from the dip, which is really crazy though, guys, because I expected a lot of these ones to fall a little bit lower. For ADA, I expected really to fall to about 8.5 or so cents. I talked about that earlier, but no, we really went all the way to about 111, about 11.18 cents. At least I expected about a 10-cent test, but no, we did not do any of that. We went from here and went back up. Things are looking pretty damn bloomy. Let's check the 4-hour chart here. Yeah, things are looking exactly the same as they are on the longer term chart. It just looks like everything reversed again, and we're looking pretty damn juicy. All right, honestly speaking, it looks like we're going to be breaching all of this very, very soon here, and I'm not really doubtful of any of that. However, there will always be people who claim that that's not possible or that things are looking dire. I don't think so, though. I think everything is looking very, very juicy at this point. Don't you guys agree with me here that things look like they're going to continue on where we left off? And that is also what you should understand. This is not a break of trend. And with XLM as well, this is not a break of trend. It's just a correction from within the trend, all right? The trend has started about, I don't know how many months ago. For XLM, I can kind of say it was most likely here the 5th of November. But let's see here on this bigger chart as well. It looks like, somewhere in the middle of November, the trend has started. Here you can see it kind of started on March already, though, with again this being a correction from August to November. It just depends on how big you want to view it. Short term, so this real last push, this kind of exponential uptrend has definitely started here at around 9th of November or that week. the bigger uptrend, so the bigger picture, has definitely started March, where, the downtrend switched over into an uptrend. For XRP, it looks kind of the same, where March, if we can quickly open that up here, March definitely looks to be the starting point of this uptrend. However, as well, from about October 26th or November 2nd, one of those weeks, it looked like the last move, or at least if we're going to draw Fibonacci, that's definitely the point we were going to be using. And the thing is as well, I told you guys before, we might have not hit the Fibonacci level perfectly, which I don't know which chart it would have been in. I don't know which of these Fibonacci's is the perfect one to showcase it for, because I've put so many in now. Might also not even be this one. It's about the idea though. The Fibonacci level was right around here at about 44 point something cents, and it might not have hit it perfectly, but that's also that thing what you see with these lines is you would like to test them for further assurance, but they don't always do that. And that's a very annoying thing that charts have, and a very annoying thing with resistance and support, that you can't always expect them to hit it perfectly. Same for with this level that we talked about earlier. We've hit it, but we're also a little bit shy of it, or you can also bypass it a little bit, and that's what the good side is about these zones. That's why I gave a small little lecture about these zones yesterday, and that's also why I keep telling you guys to just watch those, and don't mind the lines too much, as they will most likely do you wrong one point or another. It's about the bigger zones and the bigger picture. For XRP, XLM, ADA, things are looking kind of the same, where things are just looking really, really positive. And let me quickly also look at VeChain here. So VeChain, I think actually the whole crypto market has shown exactly the same thing, except for Bitcoin. So we can actually see a downward or a bearish pennant. I had that open on one of these charts, but I can't really remember which one. Maybe it was this one right here, where I had the bearish pennant open. No, it's definitely not this one. This is our more bullish scenario for Bitcoin, which we talked about a couple of times before, that the bigger picture could be this. It still looks a lot like it though, and what I just did here is copy the 2017 bull run and paste it on top of this one. But the bearish pennant kind of just looks like this. Let me try to draw it for you guys really quickly. Kind of looks like this and this, something along those lines here, with a flagpole being this one right here. And this is generally negative, or at least you would take the trade if, for example, we were to break out here on the bottom side and we were down a little bit, for example, right here, you would enter the bearish position, or you would enter a short because you think we go down. Again, this is not a proven science because, well, we can just hit kind of here and keep converging for, quite a couple of days potentially, depending on how we draw this. It just also depends on how it's going to be converging. It could also be going something along the lines of this, where this one is also going to be a little bit more like this. That already shifted itself a couple of days already, and that's why this for short term is not that easy. That's why triangles are sometimes better. They work better on these bigger term things than pennants. However, on a 1 hour chart, this is really what it's looking like. I already tried to make it yesterday, but I kind of forgot to showcase it in a video. Maybe you already saw I had a BTC chart up, but I didn't showcase it. I kind of forgot. Sometimes you have that, when you're just wanting to talk about so many different subjects that you forget one little small part about it all. And that's also one thing I have to mention here. XLM and VeChain, they're keeping on having positive news. Even though Stellar here is no real big update in that sense. Ironically, it is an update that they're talking about here, an upgrade, but we already knew about this a couple of days ago. There are some theories going around that this is still pushing it up. And that for XRP, the Flare airdrop, or the Flare kind of utility fork, is still causing the price to go up, which I disagree with. I'll talk about that later. And with VeChain, it is that all their partnerships here are bearing their fruits, or are coming to fruition, or are finally showcasing why it's important. VeChain presents result of partnership with Walmart China. VeChain has revealed the possibility of establishing a blockchain technology-based system for tracking supply chains over in China. The partnership between Walmart and VeChain could be the basis for a new system of cooperation with Chinese authorities and other local companies. As the later efficiency increases, they can achieve amazing human efficiency growth, realize inverse entropy and cost reduction in large organizations, and go against the current in the post-epidemic era. So, Yeah, they're reducing costs and improve supply chain in China. I think everything is quite obvious though with what VeChain does really in that sense. I just know for a fact them working with Walmart China and that partnership being a great success is very amazing for us as holders. I mean, it kind of gives you a certainty, right? Where you're not really that afraid of the prices falling back down forever. It's just kind of a temporary thing all the time. And that's what keeps me going at least. That's why I don't feel any fear when things like this happen. Even though again you can kind of, if it were to be a bigger picture, by the way, a triangle you would most likely put like this, where it's kind of a flat line at the top, and then a let's go here, a support going upwards. Again, this is what you would call then a triangle. That's the difference between the pennant and the triangle. When the top is flat or the bottom is flat, and the support or resistances, they in this case increase or otherwise would maybe decrease. The flagpole would not really matter, but a triangle like this I would definitely not use on a shorter term here, like a 1 hour. You can, I mean, sometimes it may work, but in generally I think it's for the bigger pictures. So that is my thoughts about the situation, by the way. Just wanted to briefly mention that. In the end though, look at how juicy this looks. The trend is continuing on, guys. I'm not worried about it whatsoever. XLM, exactly the same situation. Things are looking amazing. XRP, the same situation. And since I forgot to look at a couple of altcoins before, let me quickly check that. So LTC, it's not really that far away from its dip. It's, let's see, relatively here, it's about 10% or so up, which I would say is still not out of the dark zone, out of the clear just quite yet, or in the clear. I think this one may be a little bit scarier, also because we formed this smaller top right here. I don't really know exactly what's going to be happening to this one. Ethereum is kind of on the same edge as Bitcoin though, where it's kind of converging here, making ourselves a bearish pennant. I'm not excited about that one either. It kind of looks the same thing, like I said, with Bitcoin here, where things aren't looking too juicy, but they might as well turn around very, very quickly here, as altcoins just had the better hand right now, and maybe today is going to be the day that things will turn around again for the better. I said you guys before, I think yesterday, that if we're going to fall down lower for XRP, there was a good chance that it would have already happened yesterday. It really looked like that. However, again, the more times we test this zone, if we cannot breach it time upon time again, and we don't follow this trend that we've kind of made for ourselves here, it is possible we're going to be falling back down into the zone here and finally testing our proper level at about 44 cents. But as things are looking like right now, it just looks like we're going to test the zone again, and this time a little bit deeper, and then finally breach it after enough resistance has just been broken off or has crumbled off after we keep testing and trying it out. Saw a couple of other cool things here. Ripple is cashing out a third of its stake in surging MoneyGram. Blockchain payments from Ripple is selling roughly 1/3 of its stake in MoneyGram in the first such sale of company stock since the startup invested in 2019. According to the SEC filing on Friday, Ripple owns 6.2 million shares of MoneyGram, or 8.6% of shares outstanding, plus a warrant to buy up another 5.95 million shares for a total equity position of 12.2 million shares, or 17% of MoneyGram's shares outstanding. Ripple is now selling up to 4 million shares, or approximately 33% of its entire stake, if you count the shares represented by the warrant. After the sale, Ripple will still own at least 3.22 million shares, so they're kind of selling, 60% of what they have right now, though, or 4.44% of MoneyGram, when including the additional shares represented by the warrant, which gives Ripple the right to execute a stock buy at a predetermined price. The blockchain payments firm will still own about 11% of MoneyGram. So I don't really know why they're doing that. I think because they just made, a double on their money. They just doubled their money right now, which is why they're happy with this, and they're fine with that. But why else? I mean, they're paying MoneyGram to utilize XRP, right? So what could be the bigger purpose here? That I do not know. What I do know, though, is that for MoneyGram, this was a very beneficial thing. Ripple has actually really just made that thing alive like crazy. I don't know what the initial price was at, but shares of MoneyGram have risen more than 260% this year alone, closing at $7.42 on Wednesday, meaning Ripple's netting a significant profit on its investment, actually doubling it, because they paid $4.10 a piece, which was way overpriced at the time. We were all confused about that. But later on, it kind of looks like Ripple knew a little bit more than we did about the situation, because, they doubled their money still, so who's laughing now? I think it's them. Analysts warn of new Bitcoin price drop as whales take profits. I still disagree with this one. And I'm going to try to prove it one way or another. I don't know how to do it yet, but I want to show you guys that whales have not dropped all their holdings or anything like that. It is not true. It just can't be true. I just can't fathom why they would do that if all the new Bitcoin is being bought by 3 entities, Grayscale, PayPal, and Square. It's kind of illogical if whales and institutional investors were to drop it right now when they see the scarcity effect better than we do because they're buying in large quantities. And when they see that you can't really get it from the fresh miners at all, it's just all going out completely instantly. Yeah, well, it kind of makes sense to understand then that there is greed going on like crazy and there's institutions buying it up. So even if you think, by the way, even if you think, man, this is not good, this is not good, whales are selling, yada, 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 consider that 3 whales here are way bigger than all these whales you're talking about, most likely. And those 3, as I've said before, are Square, PayPal, and Grayscale Investment Trust, or whatever it's called, the exact name. Those 3 will most likely buy more Bitcoin than we would ever have seen in our lives entirely in one day. All right, they're most likely buying more in one day than we will ever see in our lifetimes. So yeah, consider that for a little second. All right, there might be whales giving up, but they don't matter for the bigger picture as these guys are going to keep buying on. And scarcity, sorry, I need to keep myself up with that, is going to kick in rather sooner than later. So keep that in mind. Large number of scams, by the way. If you see somebody comment in the comment section under my name, just check, and if there's not a dark bar around it, it is not me. All right, if there's no dark bar around my name, it is not me. So if they're sharing a number with you, it's definitely not me. If they're saying I know a trading expert, it's definitely not me. So don't reply to those comments. Just report them if you can. I'm trying my best to delete them all or to hide them from my channel. But I've hidden at least 100 Dusty BCs. There are a ton of different accounts that come around here. And there's multiple entities doing this. It's not just one person, all right? It is most likely more after they've seen it work, I think, or something like that. And they're trying and trying and trying, guys. So that's why it's important that we hit 100K subs in the future so I can finally request that verification thing so people won't get scammed anymore. But we're not there. We're not there yet. We're halfway there. We're halfway there. We'll get there eventually, guys. We're halfway there. And that's pretty damn cool. But yeah, a lot of people are getting scammed. Those numbers are getting way up, way up. And I've told you guys on Twitter as well, it's at an all-time high right now. These scammers, it is getting completely crazy. If I am not monitoring my comments for 20 minutes, there will definitely be about 5 scammers or so. So I'm constantly trying to delete them, but it's impossible to keep that up. So just warn others, warn yourself, and here's why Ripple is dumping 1/3 of its stake in MoneyGram. Let's see here. I think it's just because they made a frick ton of money, right? Let's see here. According to a spokesman for Ripple, the sales, which are still ongoing, are purely a judicial decision to realize some gains. On the firm's investment in MoneyGram, they are not necessarily indicative of the present state of the partnership between the companies. Okay. Yeah, that was it for today. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. I'll see you guys again in another crypto video.